Hello. Retro mode. Thought I'd do more of a chill video today out in the park. Nice sunny Sunday afternoon. Just talk about my videos and that, really, just what I'm going to do in the future. I noticed on YouTube now, I don't know if it's just my algorithm, but there seems to be more and more car boot type videos. So I probably still will do a bit, but I might just try and switch it up a bit, maybe do some other stuff as well to make it a bit more sort of different from other videos. See what happens. I quite enjoy the video editing and that. For me, it's just been an excuse to play around with it and get used to the programs and that. So yeah, so initially I started doing it just as a bit of a hobby, just to keep busy, because I'd come back. I've been in Thailand for 7 years, and I came back and I was sort of trying to find things to keep me busy, really. So I quite enjoyed it. I don't really make much money from it, but I enjoy collecting all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I wasn't going to do any more videos till I went on holiday, but I've just been to Woolpit and Farnham Car Boot, so I'll probably do a little video about those. England just won 2-0 against Panama. Incredibly boring game, but you know, we're through anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the good thing about it is, you know, it's taught me how to set up a business. It's taught me how to do an inventory using like Excel spreadsheets and stuff, and keeping track of my profit and loss, all that sort of thing. This first year was literally just to see what does sell and what doesn't. And the problem now is I'm left with all the stuff that hasn't sold, so I really need to start fresh. And then I'm probably just going to buy less but better stuff. Easier said than done, because when you're out buying, it's very easy to get carried away. But yeah, I've got a bit more of an idea now, so we shall see. Because for me, it was more about the sort of TV pop culture type stuff, but I've sort of dabbled in bits and pieces here. Electrics sell really well, but then I find, you know, buying Hoovers and all that sort of thing doesn't really interest me that much. And also I've finally just shut my eBay shop now, because once you set up as a business, the amount of fees you have to pay for the shop, and they take a percentage of your final sale, and everything that doesn't sell automatically gets relisted, and then you start paying insertion fees on that. And I probably only sell about 30% of my stuff on eBay. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, I think I'm just going to use Vinted, maybe Facebook Marketplace, and anything that I think is more suited to eBay, I can just put that on there. It's a bit, yeah, the postage policies, once you own a business as well, you've got to settle your own postage, you have problems with returns. It's just been a bit of a ball ache, really. But it's a learning curve. I think if I was selling more, then it might be worth it, but because I'm only doing bits and pieces, I'm not sure it's worth the monthly fees I have to pay. And also I'm going to Thailand for 3.5 weeks, so I won't be listing much. But the plan is to buy some stuff out there, bring it back and try and sell, because that's how I got into this in the first place. Obviously I lived in Thailand, I brought loads of stuff back to sell, never got round to it, but now I'm pretty much permanently back in England. Okay, yeah, the other problem I have is, unless you've got meta glasses, you've got a GoPro attached, or you're holding it, or whatever. And if you're going around car boots and things, you are a bit self-conscious, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're not annoying people, but especially if you're in car boot, I think they think you're, I'm not saying they'll charge you higher prices or anything, but it's just unwanted attention. So we'll see. I probably will do some, but it's like getting up early in the morning as well, and then you've got to strap it all on, get out there, and I'm not the best at getting up in the morning. I'm half awake most of the time, and by the time I've got ready to go, I've either forgotten, and the battery only lasts about 45 minutes on these things, so you've then got to scramble around changing batteries and stuff. It is a bit awkward, but we'll see, because I do like the footage. It comes out quite well, but it's all a learning process. Squirrel! Yeah, just trying to work off some of my pork life, you know, ready for my holes. The other thing with selling on eBay and Vinted is the cross-listing. So you're spending twice as much time listing everything on two different sites, and then when you sell something you have to remember to take it off the other side. It's so easy to forget to take it off, so it's like 3 times the work. So that's another reason why I think I'm going to knock eBay on the head for a bit and see what happens, because to be honest, most of the stuff I sell is probably between 10 to 20 pounds, so it's more suited to Vinted, I think. We'll see what happens. So I broke my phone case, so I seem to only have a rose pink one there. Very fancy. Right, so yeah, this is the problem. Like, it's not so bad if you sell something on Vinted. You can search in eBay for the items you've listed, and specifically like Adidas or whatever, and it'll bring up all your Adidas listings, so it's easier to delete stuff. But if you sell something on eBay and then I have to delete it on Vinted, I've got like over 1,000 items. There's no way of searching for the items you've got on there, so I literally have to scroll through everything. If it's something that I've had on there for 6 months, you literally have to scroll through it, or it's really time consuming to try and find it and delist it and things like that. So I mean, Vinted isn't really set up for people selling lots of items, so yeah, that's another reason why it's incredibly time consuming. But yeah, maybe I'll show you my inventory system later, just for, you know, to see. It's probably not the most ideal way of doing it, but it'll give you an idea of how it's done. Cheers. Okay, right, back at Mo HQ. So let me just show you my process. So here's all the bits that I bought today and all the clothes I'm putting in here. So I try to, first thing I do when I get back from the car boot or whatever is make sure I put it on my inventory system. So I'll show you how I set up. So here we go. So I've got Vinted, eBay, charity shops, Facebook, car boots. So car boot Woolpit, car boot Fornham. So I'm putting what it is, what I've paid for, and it's a simple formula: what I've paid and what I've sold this month so far, and your total. Obviously it's minus because I haven't listed a lot of it yet anyway, but that's the basic process. So I will write, let's say well, let's do this one. So browser pencil case, blah blah blah. So what I would do, copy that, go into item categories. So here's where the second spreadsheet is. So here's where I've got all my different categories: sport, fashion, TV, pop, women's fashion, trousers, blah blah blah. So because that was a Mario one, I think I put that under gaming. So then I'd list each month what I bought in that particular category, and it should be right at the bottom because I've only just listed that one. Boom. So you've got your total figures, that complete category. This one's not good because, to be honest, I haven't listed a lot of the gaming stuff, but this gives you an overview of the complete category, what actually sells. So let's look at electronics. So since I've been doing it, May last year, I have paid out 384 and made 890. So that's the total profit. So when I sell something, let's go back to 26. Oh, I'll go through this first. So I'll give it a SKU number, location, what month it is. So if I sell something, first of all, actually I've just sold something that was a Max Verstappen t-shirt. So I would go into item category. Because it was a sport t-shirt, it should be on here. And I've made this alphabetical to make it even easier to find. So let's have a look. I probably won't be able to find it now. It was quite a while ago, that one, because I was selling it off cheap to get rid of it. There we go, Max Verstappen's t-shirt. I paid £3. I actually sold it for £3. I didn't realise it had a hole in it anyway. So I'm going to copy that. Once I sell something, I grey that bit out, so I know that's not sold anymore. Oops, I've done 2 layers there. I haven't got my glasses on. I can't sort that bit out in a minute. But yeah, so I then go to this month, sales for this month. So income, paste that in there, and where did I sell it? Vinted. So this will give me my total profit for this month. However, that does not include general expenses. So you've got bits and pieces that you buy, Google Lens, ChatGPT, my eBay shop, let's say electric, petrol, things like that. So you're probably looking about another 100 odd general expenses on top. So let's look at last month, for example. So let's go to income. So total I made, can't see without my glasses, 665.87. And if I sell on eBay, for example, I'm looking at the eBay costs as well. I put on there to minus it off from the complete price. So this is the problem with eBay, because let's say I sold that for $19.99, but once I've minus the eBay fees, I'm only making $16.53 total profit, plus your eBay shop, and you know, it's a bit of a ball ache. So in theory, now I've sold that Max Verstappen shop, because I've got that on there. Where was it? Income. So it will tell me it should be in men's fashion sport. So it's all colour coded, so it makes it easier for me to find it. Sold it in January, so I could then match that up in, so January 26. So I'm going to go into January 26. I think it was Charity Shop. Should be, yeah, alphabetical, Max Verstappen. So I'll put that figure in there, and that way I can see the total I made in that month as well. So I spent £302 in that month. So far I've made 240. So as you can see, I'm not making millions, it's just like working out what is worth buying and selling. I really enjoy doing t-shirts and stuff, but the truth is they don't make much money. So unless they're quite rare ones, but all part of the learning process. Right, let's go find it. Right, so yeah, the earlier you can get an inventory system sorted, the first thing you need is space, and the second thing is getting organised with a spreadsheet and that as early as possible, because otherwise it becomes an absolute nightmare. So, should be, fingers crossed, in sports tops, because it's so I've got two different ones. One's training tops, one's general. Let's have a look, see if we can find it. Ah, it's the first one there. There we go. The system works. Max Verstappen. I think it's a women's t-shirt, but when I looked at it, it had a tiny hole in it somewhere. So boom. So now I'll show you the packing process. The system worked. Right, so that's what I was talking about with the cross-listing process. So usually I'd have had to then go on eBay, find that and make sure I deleted it so you're not selling it twice. So these are all the packing things I've got in here. Simple. Pop this in here. I usually put one of my little cards in there as well as a thank you. Boom. And then you've got your mailer bags. You've got small, medium and large. There we go. Right now, a bit better. Voila! Okay, so on Vinted you've got the option digital label, printable label. So I tend to do printable. You can do digital, that's fine, but I've got myself a little label printer. So right, here's my little label printer. I'm just going to print that off. Boom, there we go. Once I've got that, Bosh. Ready to go. Ka-ching! Okay, so we just had another sale come through, this time Mr. Happy Tie. So similar process. I'm just going to bag it up. Put in my little card. Try and make it as neat as possible. And this one should fit in the smaller bag. There you go. Right, so this one was actually with Relay, so obviously you just use the code, take it to the shop. They seem to be doing more on Relay now, as I think they're trying to undercut Every for the smaller parcels. So let's find that one on the computer system. Right, currently working on the video in CapCut, so let's see if the system works. So here we go. Using spreadsheets, item categories. Where's it gone? There we go. So for this one, I will go to hats and accessories. We'll have ties on there. It definitely wasn't this month. So we're looking for Mr. Man tie, Mr. Happy tie. So I paid £2, and let me just check, what did I just sell it for? I sold it for £10.40. I took an offer. 10.4. Boom. So copy that. I'm going to grey that out so I know that one is sold. So let's have a look. Hats and ties. So in total I've spent 192, made 425, profit 233. Go into June. Alright, let's make a couple more rows. So make sure I'm on income, paste, sold on Vinted. So that adds to my total for this month. So I bought it in March 26 from a charity shop. So I'm going to find March. Charity shops. Hopefully it'll be under M. Mr. Happy Tie. There we go. 10.4, and because it was Vinted, there's no extra fees to come off. So I can see in March, yeah, not so good. I've spent 255 in charity shops, made 98, and this is the good thing. So you can tell. Let's have a look at car boots. Yeah, sort of broke even. I don't think I bought much in March, to be fair. But this is really good. Generally, I can see that charity shops are definitely not as good for making profit than car boots if I look through all my figures. So that's a good way to keep track of where you're buying things from, how much you're spending on different categories and from different locations, charity shops, Vinted work. So you can, in the future, work out, okay, so I'm probably going to buy less from charity shops and maybe do more shopping in car boots, things like that. Cheers. Okay, so that's my system. There's probably better ways to do it, but it's like I say, that's just how I've adapted to do it over the last year. Also, this is my little photography setup with lights and bits and pieces. Okay, so here is what I picked up this week. Enjoy. So yeah, I thought this would be a good time to show you how I've done it, because obviously I've been doing it just over a year now. My spreadsheets did not look like that at the start. It's like constantly evolved over that with more categories, more formulas and things to keep track of stuff. But yeah, the great thing now is I can literally work out what I've made money on, what I haven't, charity shops maybe I'm a bit down on, car boots I'm a bit up on. So it's really good. The earlier you can keep track of stuff, the more details you put in, the easier or the more it's going to help you in the future. I know it's a ball ache, but some people like doing it, some people don't. I've just enjoyed learning how to do it. So cool. Okay, so that was my little roundup. Apologies about the sound of the fan, but it has been very hot recently. Obviously I do a end of the month total price as well, so I've got a list so I can work out for the year what I've made and lost, bits like that. So yeah, hit a like, subscribe if you learnt something or you thought it was interesting. Cool. If you think I'm doing stuff in a ridiculous way, comment how you do it, if there's a better way to do it, because I've just done this from scratch, taught myself, so there probably is easier ways to do it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. See you next time.
Bye.